What's going on? My name is Block the Boss, and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. See you later, Kenya. So today we're going to be talking about some football, some college football specifically. It is 7:57 right now, and 3 minutes before the Ohio State Clemson game, and actually the LSU Oklahoma game. As no surprise, LSU blew them out. Means Oklahoma got in with the accomplished hope that Utah lost. Unfortunately, I really wanted to see Utah go in, but fortunately Oregon had to ruin that chance for them. But you know, there's been a lot of word going around with this Clemson Ohio State game. I think everyone's got this all wrong. And yes, you can quote me on it. I think all the analysis people, everyone who has put predictions on this game, well, the majority, no, all of them that I've seen on like SportsCenter and on ESPN, I think all of them are wrong. I think they're all wrong about this game. I think nobody is looking at this logically. Now, I am not one to be able to pull a bunch of stats out of my butt, like all these people who are well trained and have a huge history of predicting these types of games. But you see, I am one, and on top of everything, I don't want anyone telling me that, oh, you're just a Clemson hater, you just are hating on Clemson. I'm like, no, I'm not hating on Clemson, and I'm not an Ohio State fan. Oh my gosh, I'm a Hawkeye fan. I don't like Ohio State. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan. I do not like Ohio State at all. Ohio State, I mean, it's good to see a Big Ten team go far like this, but it's been a little while since a Big Ten team has gone pretty far like this. But the thing about it is, you know, you have to think about this logically. And right now, I don't think anyone is thinking about this logically. Ohio State is coming into this game after winning 3, not 1, not 2, and not 3, not just a bowl game, but 3 top 10, top 15, I think it's actually top 15 matchups. They're coming off of a 3 back-to-back-to-back top 15 matchup, in which one of them was at Michigan. Think about that. At Michigan. At the Michigan arena. There are not a lot of teams that can go out to Michigan and beat them, especially the way that they did. And second, in the bowl game that they had against Wisconsin, the Big Ten championship, they were down by, I think, 2 or 3 possessions going into the half. And they still ended up coming back and beating Wisconsin, a top 5 team. I think it was a top 5 or a top, at least top 10 team. Wisconsin was a top 10 team for sure. Maybe top 5. I can't remember off the top of my head, but probably like, I think they were like number 6 or maybe something like that. But a top 10 team. So they came back at least a 2 possession game, and then came back and beat them by 2 possessions after that. That doesn't make any sense. Like, how does that happen? And the best team that Clemson's faced so far, and you know, everyone's like, oh, well, they beat Texas Tech, they were number 12. They're not even ranked anymore. They were a bust. They're one of the teams that were busts. They're not good. They're not very good. And I think they just got done losing a bowl game, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they did. Maybe they did win. I can't remember off the top of my head. But everything logically about this game coming up, I don't see much of a matchup here. It doesn't make much sense to me why people are I don't know. I don't understand why people think that Clemson is going to put up a good game against this team. They have played absolutely nobody, and everyone talks about this, and everyone's like, oh, boy, it's just a bunch of Clemson haters that be saying all this. No, they literally have played absolutely nobody. I talked to a couple Clemson fans, because I just got off of work, so I had this discussion with somebody else. They were bringing up teams like Wake Forest, Virginia, Texas Tech. Those 3 teams are top 25 teams that they've faced so far this year. But can you really take those games and compare it to the game that is about? And actually, it has already happened, but I haven't even looked at anything. I don't have any other devices to look at what's going on with the game because I'm recording with my phone. But literally, they're taking teams like Wake Forest, an unexperienced team. They have never been such a very good team, especially in that conference. We're talking about Texas A&M, who thought they were going to be a pretty good team this year, but they ended up being a bust. They're not even ranked. They're not even ranked. At the end of the season, not even ranked. They're like, oh, well, we beat a top 10. We beat a top 15 team. We beat number 12. But they weren't even ranked. They're not even ranked anymore. And Virginia, they were number 24. They were barely on it, and arguably shouldn't have been on there on the top 25 list. And we're gonna take games like that and compare it to the game that they're about to. There's no way. There's no way. Those games are nothing compared to what they're about to experience. Because Ohio State is a different program, a completely different program. They have beat back to back true top 15 teams. True top 15 teams. And they are going into this game with all of that behind them. They have played 3 top 15 teams back to back. They're coming off of wins on all of them. And you're going to tell me that this team, Clemson University, I mean, they did pull off a really good win last year against Alabama. Blew them out. Nobody expected it. But that's a different team. That was a different team. That was a team that was successful passing the ball, that was successful on their defensive line, and that was successful in the run game. Really, really good on the run game. And that's another thing. Clemson fans, I know I just got done saying that I'm not much of a stat guy, but the Clemson running back, I can't remember his name, but he has he's the leading rushing guard running back in the NCAA right now. But you got to look at it logically. What defense have they played? What defense have they played so far this year? What defense would limit Clemson from running the ball successfully? There has not been a single team that would have given them any trouble running the ball. And you want to know the only team that has given them trouble? North Carolina. North Carolina. I promise. We are not talking about basketball. We are talking about North Carolina football. It was down to the last play of the game. They were about that far from winning against the national champions. They were this far away from beating the national champions, a basketball school. What? We're going to take the national champions and we're going to put them against this basketball school, and they're going to... It was down to the last freaking play. The last play of the game. And they almost blew it. There was an opening. I remember that play specifically. I was at work and I was watching this game. I'm like, no way. There's no way this is going to happen. By golly, it didn't. Thank goodness, because this wouldn't be happening. There's no way Clemson would have been able to see the top 5 for the rest of the season if they had lost to North Carolina. Thank goodness they didn't lose, because that would have been it. But I think that alone, the inability to run and to play against a team that'll actually play against them, I think that shows the weak spots in Clemson. I don't think that Clemson is going to have the experience, even though they've had playoff experience. The coaching staff has excellent experience with their program, especially in playoffs. They've been in the playoffs, I think, not every single year. I think the last 3 years they've been in the playoffs. And all of those games, all of those games, most of the games, they did do very, very well. And I will give them credit for that. And I think that's what ESPN and all these networks are predicting, and they're basing their predictions off. I don't like that, because if you look at it in a sensible and a logical way, it makes absolutely no sense. Because if you just look at how stacked Ohio State is this year, they're stacked. They're absolutely stacked. And the only reason why Ohio State isn't number one is because LSU had a harder schedule, like, overall. But anyways, it just blows my mind how people could say that it's going to be more than at least a possession. Because I have heard a lot of sources that have said that Clemson is going to beat them by more than a possession. What? I don't get it. Everything coming up to this game, to me, other than Clemson University's experience in the playoffs, everything is in Ohio State's favor. Everything. There isn't a single thing other than experience that Clemson has over Ohio State in this game. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. Here are my predictions. My prediction is I want to say it's going to be a close game, but there's a lot of me that says it's not going to be. It's not going to be something like what just happened, the LSU absolute massacre that they put on against Oklahoma. It's not what I think is going to be the game where LSU and Oklahoma, it's not going to be that much of a blowout, because Clemson is better than that. I understand how Clemson plays. I understand how they lose. They don't lose like that. That's for sure. In the last about almost 5 to 10 years, they don't lose like that. So what I'm going to say is it's going to be a 32. It's going to be 32 to 24. So it's going to be about a possession and a half. It's going to be an 8-point game. I think Ohio State has an 8-point favor in this game. I'm going to say that. That's what I'll say. Again, I'm not a trained sports analysis person. I don't know stats. I'm not good with stats. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm just giving what I think. I'm just predicting what's going to happen. I'm pretty confident because, I watch a lot of college football. But again, I'm not an expert. Experts are at ESPN. I respect it. Like I said, I understand why they're predicting otherwise, because of Clemson's experience in the playoffs. But I'm just giving my opinion. So that's my opinion. Leave me a like if my thoughts are. You might not agree with my thoughts, but if you thought my thoughts were a little bit logical and you could see around them, then leave me a like. Comment what you guys think of what the score is going to be. Hopefully I'm able to upload this before the game's over. But yeah, I think it's going to be a 32 to 24 game. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe and let me know what you guys thought about this analysis video. I would definitely love to do more of these, because I do like college football, and I'll probably do, if you do like this video, I'll probably do one on the national championship as well. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.